How's it going, guys? Welcome back yet again. So, excuse me, just clear my throat whilst filming. What am I going to do for 8th edition? That's what I've been thinking about the last couple of days, because with all the new stuff coming out and with new sort of insights to the rules popping up every single day, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to choose what I want to do. Each time I think I've found a force that, you know, is going to really, is something new and different than I've played before in 7th. And I think I've found that, you know, that thing that I'm going to do for 8th edition. Some new rules pop up, they give us a tidbit of information, and I'm immediately like, that's just completely spun everything out for me. So what am I thinking at the moment? I'm thinking Primaris Marines. I'm thinking a new chapter of them. I'm thinking the opportunity to do something completely new and kind of do it in real time, sort of quasi-real time, if that makes sense. So I can create a new chapter. They're a new chapter of Primaris Marines. Their deeds and legends and all that sort of thing are, well, there are none. You know, they are literally brand new off the, you know, they're hot off the press. I get to now completely forge their story. You know, every battle, every win, every defeat, I can actually shape them to, you know, they're going to grow and evolve as I play. And that for me is that's really exciting, the potential to actually write this story and have this story continually growing. You know, imagine after 5 years or, you know, 10 years or, you know, however long until the next edition, imagine this chapter continuously growing, its stories being told, its grudges, its alliances, its, you know, all of this sort of thing, its epic, you know, its epic deeds recorded. You know, I can do all of that, and so I'm really excited about that. The opportunity to make that happen is just, I've never had the opportunity before. Never quite in this way. I've always had the ability to go and create my own chapter, but, you know, there's always been that difficulty of, well, if they're created sort of, you know, after the Horus Heresy, or, you know, in some time in, say, the 35th millennium or something like that, or one of the other numerous foundings, there's always that responsibility to try and create a backstory of where they've come from, as well as the things they've been doing in the period between their creation and me now playing them. I always find it very hard when I'm writing the backstory to my chapters that I've created to keep it balanced. You know, too many victories and they come across as like Mary Sue's, too many losses and they come across as ineffective and pointless. Likewise, you know, creating heroes within the chapter, you know, trying to realistically portray, you know, the abilities and the deeds of these Space Marines. It's just very difficult to, you know, step across that line from, oh yeah, that's, you know, that's certainly a Space Marine people would look up to being, you know, this guy sounds like he could take on an entire Black Crusade by himself. Why hasn't he? You know, that's what I always found the difficulty with. You know, you get so passionate about the things you create, you just want to make them so OP, and then if you try to rail that back in by making them, you know, have sort of faults or, you know, sort of flaws in their character, then again that sometimes clashes with the legend you built around them. You know, sometimes they can be filled with a horrible burden of self-doubt, but on the other hand they can lead, you know, 10 full companies of Space Marines into the heart of the warp and come back sort of, you know, like, hey, we did it. It just doesn't make, you know, it doesn't balance realistically. So with the Primaris Marines release, that's why I'm really excited, because I can now completely start from scratch. No ties to the past at all. You know, no responsibility there. I can do whatever I want, and, you know, and it's gonna organically grow as I play these Space Marines. So I'm really excited about that. Things I have thought about doing beforehand were, you know, this very nihilistic, death-obsessed Blood Angel successor called the Death Crows. I had a Imperial Fist successor called the Griffin Knights, who were sort of very honorific, and, you know, they sort of didn't hold to the codex too much. They very much created their own sort of way of waging war, built around the idea of knightly houses replacing the companies. You know, so this knight seneschal, if I think that's how it's pronounced, would basically would shape his house to how he liked to wage war. So you never have, you know, you wouldn't have like your scout company or your designated reserve company, or the first company being exclusively Terminators and veterans and stuff like that. They would be sort of split across the whole chapter. They would wage war differently. There was also a Night Lords pirate war band called the Blood Crows, who would take on anyone. Their leader, who was called Rook, was, you know, very unstable mentally. He believed it was his purpose to continue the work of Conrad Kurz in bringing bloody justice to the galaxy, and he looked at both the traitors and the Imperium and found them both wanting, and so would take apart anyone really. And his mental stability was sort of held in check by his very close compatriots, but they were aware that, you know, he was he was degenerating in his mental stability, you know, more and more, and they were trying to find perhaps some sort of Xenos tech, or, you know, some way of saving him. And so I had that as an idea, and like I say, every single time I did one, you know, I wrote it up and I looked at it and I went, yeah, that's really good. Literally the next day or the next week or something new would pop up. Of course, there is a very real possibility that when the new Death Guard stuff is revealed, that just completely just buries itself in me and festers like a pox. To use use terminology that's fitting for the Death Guard. They look very good. From the stuff that I've seen, from the sneaky peeks that have been popping out, from the, you know, some people posting pictures they perhaps shouldn't be posting just yet. The Death Guard, the new Death Guard, look really good. Apparently going to be really big, really strong, tough as nails. That's exciting. And the idea of doing a Nurgle warband would be really cool, because I have actually still got a box of Plague Bearers I've never used. So that would be cool. So yeah, guys, that's sort of where I am at the moment. So sort of look forward to seeing this journey as we move towards 8th. If you guys have got some similar ideas, you know, if you guys are always trying to work out what you want to do, if you've got conflicting ideas, share them. You know, we can perhaps try and work something out. You know, we can all just chat about what we think we're going to be doing. If you're continuing on with something from 7th, wicked, good for you. I'm glad that you can stay the course, because for me it's just, every time I see something new and shiny, I'm like, gotta have it. So yeah, guys, thanks for all the comments on the previous videos. My Primaris videos, you know, done really well, considering, you know, I normally get around 20 to 30, sometimes 50 views a video, and that's not consistent. So, you know, I think I've got like 150 or something like that on it. So that's really cool. Thanks very much, guys, for doing that. Apologies on the sound quality on some of the videos. I know it's a bit rubbish. I'm still trying to, you know, get to grips with just doing audio videos. But yeah, guys, thank you. All feedback is always really welcome. So thanks very much. That's, you know, it's giving me pointers for the future, for future videos like this one. So guys, hope you're doing all well, and that, you know, everything's going good. Like I say, share your thoughts, and I'll try and reply. Like I say, I always try to reply to everyone. And until the next time, you guys be good, you stay safe, make sure you're doing what you're doing, and I'll catch you next time on The Scrumpy Kiwi. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.